Senator Dees, you recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had multiple meetings for the Rules Subcommittee this week. On June 15th, we met, and there were 2 rules that were pulled by the agencies, and all other rules were reviewed and approved as noted in the report. Then we met again on June 18th, and the subcommittee filed reports from the Executive Review and State Insurance Programs Oversight Committees. The subcommittee filed quarterly reports by the Department of Corrections and Post-Prison Transfer Board. The subcommittee approved 2 agency requests for exclusion from the reporting requirements for rulemaking. The subcommittee accepted the recommendations of the Division of Career and Technical Education concerning the extension of rules pursuant to Act 781 of 2017. And also the subcommittee received agency updates on outstanding rulemaking from 2023 regular session and filed agencies' monthly written updates on rulemaking from the 2025 regular session. 2 rules were pulled by the agency, and 1 rule was held in public health. All other rules were reviewed and approved and noted in the report. I move adoption of the report.
All right, Senator, we're going to hang on to that motion for a second. Senator Rice, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At the previous meeting on the EFAs, Courtney Ford and Greg Rogers evidently had to leave before the meeting was over, and I need a short clarification if they could come forward.
All right. We could get somebody from the department. Mr. Rogers. If you would just introduce yourself for the record when you get started. And I also want to say, keep in mind, we've fleshed this out for about 4.5 hours earlier in the week, so try to keep this brief.
Good morning, Courtney Salas Ford.
Greg Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate y'all coming forward. I know y'all had to leave, I think, about an hour before we finished. A lot of people did, but there was a lot of good stuff came out of that. I just need some clarification. The public testimony that we had was very good for some of us to be able to have, and we talked about some of the things that were the problems. Some of them have problems that I don't think can be fixed, but mainly about the class wallet. And what I garnered out of that, the class wallet was probably one that maybe was lacking a little bit. But as I had a contract pulled and read that, this is an $8 million contract. It has a $14 million projected contract that I think Greg is the one signed, reason I wanted you up here to do it. But there are performance standards, and the performance standards are all in the 90 percentiles, varying in there, and they have 2, 3, and 10-day time requirements on different performance deals. So if you've got some new information that you think are going to fix some of the things that we heard, I've been told that, I would appreciate you sharing that may help the education department and class wallet to take care of some of the delay problems, the losing vendors, small vendors, because they just can't wait 30 to 60 days. I would appreciate if you'd share that. But have there been any standards? From reading the contract, says they have to be in writing. Have we altered the standards from what the contract was is one question. Have there been any penalties or reason for penalties? Or is it the department telling Class Wallet, let us do what we want to do in review, and I don't have a problem with that, but that's what's delayed these people that say they're being hurt. Can you give us an update on that? And is there some help that you've received since the meeting this week that we think is going to improve this?
So, yes, we do continue to meet with Class Wallet regularly, our staff with their staff, and provide updates on progress and things that are happening. You're correct that there are performance standards in the contract that we are and will hold them to, and we continue to let them know when there are areas that need to be addressed. There are some points at which, yes, they have offered services such as review of expenses that we have chosen to do in-house instead, because we feel our staff is more highly trained, knowledgeable about our rules and our expectations, as opposed to trusting a vendor who operates in multiple states to be reviewing those expenses, which you all know are very heavily scrutinized and looked at. So we prefer to keep that in-house and with our staff. They have agreed and given us assurances that there will be upgrades to their technology, including the use of AI and certain other functions that will help expedite. But I think we've already demonstrated with cancellation of the first vendor contract that we will ensure this program is at the highest level, and if Class Wallet or any other vendor cannot meet those needs, that we will look at terminating that contract and going with another vendor. But based on the conversations we've had, we don't believe that will be necessary. We believe that they will meet those expectations. As I stated the other day, the staff department is committed to ensuring we have enough staff to review expenses. Given the volume of things that come through for review daily in the 5,000 to 10,000, it's almost impossible to be on a 24 to 48 hour review period, but we definitely are going to commit enough staff that we can make that more reasonable and get it down to less than the 30 days it's currently at.
Okay, well, here's my reason for bringing you up. I don't want to be critical of Class Wallet if it's not due them. And this contract says there are standards. Evidently, they're willing to meet, but y'all have said you want to do the review. I don't have a problem with that, but you've basically altered what they're willing to do according to their contract. If I'm not
No,
right.
we have not altered the contract. That was decided before the contract was signed. Just because a vendor offers a service, if we choose not to accept that service, that doesn't relieve them of the liability for meeting the other standards and the other terms of the contract.
Okay, and again, that's fine, but I don't want to be critical of them if the delay, due or not due, is because ADE is doing the way they want to review it. So that's what I'm putting out publicly. I want to know where the problem is, and are we going to get the problem fixed within a shorter time period where we're not losing vendors and people are not getting to $1,000 figure, maybe 4 different things, and they don't have that money.
Now, again, we are committed to ensuring that any issues are addressed. We're considering multiple options. We want parents to have choice. We want them to have quality choice. And if we have to look at other vendors or other options to do that, we will. But hopefully we can resolve all these with upgrades to Class Wallet's platform as they have agreed to.
I appreciate that commitment. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Dismang, you recognized.
And just to make sure that I understand things, even from the meeting the other day, I mean, there has been concern, it's been reported on that there were expenditures being made that maybe shouldn't be made, or maybe were questionable, or whatever it may be. And so y'all were taking the time to make sure that you're vetting the expenditures before you're sending out payments. That was part of the delay. And now you have a new rule that's going to help streamline that process and take out some maybe would have been questionable and sets limits and that sort of thing. So that in and of itself should help with delays.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I remember seeing no further questions. Senator Dees, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I would like to add as well that we've been in communication with Class Wallet, their representation, and their commitment to do everything they can to work with the department for expediency. And so we've been able to get their response after the. I'm very thankful for the 4 hours plus, as you mentioned, from our public comment time, that we made sure the people were heard. And thank you for the department for the ability to hear their 719 pages of public comment and listening to that. But without any other objection, move adoption of the report.
All right, members, we have a motion to adopt reports from June 15th and June 18th. We have a motion to have a second. Second, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. It's adopted. That takes